back to my channel. Okay, before I start, I know it's been a minute. It's been like 2 weeks, I think, and I know I apologize. I've been a bit inconsistent because I was on having a mini vacation, was busy with work, but I'm back again. But I have a good lengthy video for you this week. Before I start, you know the deal. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and let's get started. This video, I will be discussing Love Island USA Season 7, Episode 1 through 10, and possibly 11. Before I start, this video is all over the place because there's so much to talk about, and this cast is quite messy. So I apologize in advance if I'm like going from this, that, and it's like going back and forth. But I will try my best to stay consistent. Again, if you haven't watched Love Island USA Season 7, if you're not caught up, please do not watch this video because this video will contain spoilers. But if you're caught up and you watched everything, this will be like a discussion to just express how you feel. Also, comment down below what your thoughts are. Remember, keep it respectful and kind. But I really want to hear you guys' thoughts on the season so far. But yeah, let's get started. So Love Island is a show that originated from the UK. The premise of the show is basically they bring a lot of single people in like this villa island. Usually each country picks like a secluded island, like somewhere, sometimes in Greece, Fiji, especially the US base is in Fiji the past couple years. And the goal is to kind of be like the best couple. So the nation will vote on which couple is the best each week, and they'll throw sometimes challenges, and then sometimes they have recoupling. So that means, let's say there's a couple of the week and like something happens, they have a chance to recouple with the same person or someone else. There is a prize. I always forget the prize, but usually it's a large sum of cash, and at the end usually the couple decides if they want to split it, one of them keep it. But the goal is to find love and win money, right? So the show's been going on for a long time. The US one gained popularity Season 6 last year with winners Cordell and Serena, everyone's favorite couple. I think the whole Season 6 drama and the whole situation was like one of the best seasons. From there they get a lot of new fans. I've dabbled and dabbled in Love Island from UK, but I remember, for those who remember, Season 3 with Justine, Shelly, like I think it was Season 3 or Season 2. That was my favorite season. That one took place in Vegas because this was like literally during COVID, so everyone was watching. But due to the popularity of Season 6, Season 7 was announced and people were ready, because I think a lot of time people have the mentality that, oh, Season 6 is great, it's gonna be just like Season 7, it's gonna be just as great too. But not realizing that each season has its own story, and like sometimes a season could be great one season and then not so great because we're dealing with different batch of people. I think also Season 6 did a really great job to where now they're doing a spin-off reality TV show called Beyond the Villa, where they like kind of catch up with the Season 6 cast or in LA, and they're just navigating life after Love Island premiered a year ago. So with Season 7, we have a new set of crew, including contestants such as Taylor, Alandria, Shelly, Huda, Jeremiah, Ace, Nick, and a few other more. Before I even start, I just want to say the episode so far, I think it's kind of cool. We start off with the theme song, or not theme song, but like them lip singing, which is kind of funny because I don't know why they do that. It's low-key cringy, but I guess they have their thing and it works out, so that's their thing, right? So let's start off with that, and then once again, Ariana came back as the host. She's an amazing host so far. I think she did a really great job in Season 6, and I haven't watched her this season before, but she did an amazing job in Season 6. I think she represents the thought of America and just like everyone who's watching it, because the way that we're thinking, the way we react, she does it for us. So like the fact that we have a host kind of representing us, like the viewer's thought, I think that's amazing. So with that, we start with Ariana. The first people that are in the villa are Shelly and Alandria. I think they're great. I think they're gonna be besties. I love seeing two dark-skinned black women kind of like linking up. I think both of them are just gorgeous. Shelly's Haitian, so obviously I'm going to be very biased with fellow Zoe. I'm obsessed with them already. So we start off with that. Then the other girls come to the villa, like Huda, Bella, others, and then Ariana shows up and is like, hey guys, welcome to Love Island, whatever. Then some of the guys show up, and the first two guys are Nick and Ace. Nick is funny. He's interesting. Some of his things, something he says is interesting. Then we see Ace and Chelley hug, and Chelley's like, "Oh my gosh, this is no way." And Ariana's like, "What's going on, Chelley? Like, what do you mean?" She's like, "Oh yeah, we've met before. We met at a club." My thing is, we've seen they follow each other on Instagram, so I mean there is some prior history before like they attended the show, and I have my thoughts on that. While I think it's great that they know each other, I feel like it's kind of a disadvantage, like an advantage for them, but a disadvantage for everyone else, because the goal of the show is to kind of meet someone new and have a genuine new connection. Like Cordell and Serena and Cordell, like they didn't know each other, age gap, but their connection was so beautiful to watch. And like as a viewer, like that's why a lot of us love them and like love the other couples too, because like no one knew each other. It was just they were stuck in an island getting to know each other for 6 weeks and like went through that. That's why there's a lot of fans. The fact that they know each other, I'm like, I guess that's cool, but it's kind of weird. I'm kind of side-eyeing that a little bit, because it's like you have an advantage because you know kind of what she's like, you know what I mean? So that's where I'm like a little bit side-eyeing. But the other guys come, Jeremiah. Before I just wanted to give like an overall first episode, because I have a lot to talk about, and I wanted to just skip to go to like the last couple episodes where like things have been getting a little bit chaotic, right? So everything's going well. Everyone comes out, the cast is here, and then they start straight. The first night they're doing their first challenge, and basically they have each of the guys stand in a heart, and are gonna ask each girl to kiss the 2 guys that they're interested in. For example, if like I was in the show and like I was the first person to go up, Arna would be like, okay, now you gotta kiss the 2 guys you're interested in, and each girl had to go up. If let's say this happened, let's say I'm interested in a guy, and like after kissing them I pick the guy that I'm really want to have a connection with, and then next thing you know another person comes in and kisses my guy, they have the power to either pick the same guy that I like or someone else. And then once that like let's say they pick the guy I'm interested in, I have to pick someone else or my second option, right? So with that happens. First it's all the girls, and everyone was kissing, and except for Bella, like she wasn't kissing mouth to mouth, she's kissing on the cheek, which I think it's great. I think that the fact that they're showing, like, I think her comfort level is great, because Bobby was saying, oh my god, she's on Love Island and this and the third, but it's like, first day I would feel uncomfortable too. Like, it's the first day, you know what I mean? And maybe she wanted to wait further down to at least talk to the guys a bit more, get to know at least their name, to kind of kiss them. But like, I think a lot of people were like, oh, this is like, what kind of show are you on? But like, I don't blame her. Like, this is the first night, I'm nervous, I don't know what is going on, I just met these 5 random guys out of nowhere, and you expect me to just give them like mouth to mouth kiss? Like, I'm not ready yet. Like, I'm not saying she wasn't gonna eventually just have them kiss on the cheek throughout the whole 6 weeks, obviously not. Like, I think people develop their comfort in different levels, and Bella just expressed that, and like she expressed her boundaries with being respectful and kind, and I love how both guys respected that, and like, well, kind of respected that, right? So then after I mentioned that Shelly and Ace had a connection, obviously Shelly picked Ace, then Yelissa picked Ace, and then I forgot who else she picked, but that made Shelly had to go with Austin, which was her second option, which is so funny because both Austin and Alyssa are Trump supporters. But her time in the villa was short, ended because it found out there was a video of her saying the N-word. So production was like, yeah, you gotta go. And I think people would keep saying, oh, it's because she's a Trump supporter. I'm like, no, Austin's also a Trump supporter. It's because there was a podcast of her saying the N-word, and they're like, yeah, no. I wish that production did a proper background check on all the cast, and like I put aside politics and like how they view certain stuff, but I feel like something like that's the fact that like fans found that out within like a day before the show premiered, that's concerning. And it's not like it was hidden, it was quite public because it's a podcast. So I wish production did more background check. And the way that they're going is a little bit interesting, because they're doing a pop-up bombshell situation that's going on. So the first week they were in New Jersey, now they're in Atlanta, and then they're gonna go to San Francisco. And I don't know how I feel about that. I think that's great because it's like fans who are watching the show in real life can kind of like catch out, but also if they're picked to be part of their bombshell. I think they're doing this for Casa Amor, which is gonna be so exciting, but I don't know how I feel about them doing it so quick, because I don't know if it gives them proper time to do a proper check or background check on the whoever they pick from the pop-up. Because imagine if like I'm in a pop-up and I have like a pass and I'm picked and I go like I'm currently in the villa and then people found out information about me. It's like, oh well, you took a bit to find out, like you did wait something last minute to find out more information about me. So I think in that case, I wish they expanded it to be, I wish they started it earlier with the research, because like doing it while the show is premiering doesn't give them enough time, because the show is 6 weeks long and I know usually Casa Amor is like third week in, so I'm assuming so like that doesn't really give enough time to do a background check. And we saw that with Yelisa, like how did the fan find out information before production? That's concerning. So that's, speaking of that, so because of that she was kicked out and that made Ace single. So remember I said Ace was feeling Shelly and like he was single, it was fun. Everything, like he was exploring Shelly, whatever. Then we had 2 new bombshells. These were the first bombshell of our season. So we had Sierra and Charlie. Charlie's from the UK, Sierra's from Arizona, I believe. They're cool. Charlie is like, you know, feeling everyone, like he's single. Sierra's really into Nick. But remember, I didn't mention this, but Bella chose Nick to like couple up with. And the thing about Nick is that Bella has feelings for him, but Nick doesn't have feelings for Bella because the way people are describing Nick, I'm not gonna say the word that they've been saying, but he is more straightforward, and Bella, it takes her a bit of time to get comfortable, especially doing stuff like kissing and boundaries, right? Regarding physical space and touch. Nick is like, I need this now, right? Sierra kind of matches Nick's energy, and that's when someone Nick is looking for, and like I think he generally wants to know Sierra more. Because of that, that means like Sierra and Bella were kind of put in this like love triangle, and I love how they both responded. They were both very respectful. It's like, yeah, you like him, I like him, it is what it is, but we're gonna figure it out, right? Normal. So then the new bombshell comes in, and then they're like a day later, they're doing this. They have this second game, which is like fourth base, first base, second base. So each girl goes and they pick a base in which each guy would want them to be. Like first base, kiss. Second base, I feel this. Fourth base is like, I want to do everything with you, right? So each of the girls go, and I forgot to mention, I'll bring up Huda, but I'm trying to like skim it through quickly. So each girl go, they pick a guy, and the funny thing is like a lot of the girls are trying to be very careful picking Jeremiah because of like how Huda and Jeremiah are close so quick. So everyone goes, and then next thing you know, Bella goes, and people were like not expecting Bella to like full on kiss the boys. And she picked Nick as fourth base, which is like the last person. So she goes to each guy, and then she's literally full on making out with them. And then Nick is the last person, and all the guys are like shocked. It's like, oh my god, we didn't expect this from her. And then Nick said something that was crazy. He's like, oh, like afterwards, after the challenge, he's like, oh, I wish I was the first person to kiss you. Why does it matter? You weren't giving me time of day, and now that I'm doing a challenge and I kissed you, now you're upset that you weren't the first person to kiss me. Super weird, but Nick is Nick. So then, boom, 2 new bombshell comes out literally during the game. I'm like, whoa, Love Island, we're getting a lot of bombshells out of nowhere. This is crazy, right? So the first one is Hannah. Second one is Amaya. Hannah's from Arizona. Amaya's from New York. So like they pick each of the guy. Hannah picks whoever, and I think picks Charlie last, and then boom, Amaya picks all the guys, and she picks Jeremiah to be fourth place. The reason why this is like crazy is because, as we've been seeing all over the episode and online, Huda and Jeremiah are like the closest couple. I have my thoughts on that relationship. It's not even a relationship. I feel like it's just too soon. And the way Huda reacts whenever Jeremiah is near a girl, it's very concerning, especially since you guys are not closed off and it's the first week. So Maya picks Jeremiah's fourth base, and like Huda is like visibly upset. It's like she's pissed off. She's not even like, all the girls are like cheering on, the guys are cheering on. She's crying. I'm like, girl, it's a challenge. Like if it was like outside of the villa, like outside of the challenge, I would understand like your frustration, but they're doing their job. She was told to pick her top 4 guys, and she did. Like, you can't really be upset, especially being on a show like this where you know this is gonna be happening a lot. So it just kind of made me very uncomfortable, especially her calling her a bitch and like saying this and that, and like Huda likes to pretend she's like girls, but then like gets upset. And like I was watching the video where it talked about how, oh, like for example, Sierra and Bella, like they could have been mad at each other. But if they knew that the challenge, like they just like whoever Nick picks. So that's why I'm like, Huda, you're a bit doing too much. And another thing that I wanted to bring up is just the whole Huda, Jeremiah, and her having a daughter, and like the way she's moving and like the way she's bringing it up. Well, I am not a mom. I'm not a mother. I'm not a parent. I think there's been a whole debate online just the way she's trying to use her being a mother as like a way to manipulate Jeremiah, like just like take control of the situation. I understand like she probably wants to keep her daughter as a way to protect herself and her daughter, but I feel like the way she's doing it, I feel like for a show that's 6 weeks long, I think it should be something that's discussed like right out like at bat. Like for example, Love is Blind, Jessica. The show duration is longer, like I think months. When she was like, when they're in the pods, she straight up told like almost every guy, or especially Jimmy, like, I'm a mom, I have a daughter, she's my best friend. Mind you, they don't know how they look, but she was very like straightforward about being a mom, saying, this is my daughter. You either accept it or you don't. Obviously they ended up like being coupled up because other reasons, but I love how she was very transparent. It was like, this is me, this is who I am. Being a mother is just part of me. Accept it, take it or leave it. I'll find someone else. You know what I mean? I just don't like the way Huda is just like telling other girls, it's like, if you know, you know, if you know, you don't. And I'm like, yeah, probably it's none of their business, but eventually like the person's gonna find out that you're a mother. You know what I mean? I just wish that like it was a bit sooner, but this whole thing, like so far all the girls know, and then plus Jeremiah and Nick, which I feel like is gonna get, I feel like my prediction, I feel like Nick is gonna tell some of the other boys about it. Hopefully not, I wouldn't be wrong, but I think that's gonna be happening. So that happens, and then after the baseball challenge, everyone goes back to the villa. All the guys are catching up with the new girls, Amaya and Hannah, and all the girls are like in another seat, like getting to know each other. And Hilda's like, oh, I don't like her, this and that, like very quick, just because she was literally doing her job. The reason why Peacock flew her to Fiji, like her job as a bombshell. Like she's not gonna be like, oh my god, asking you, oh, can I kiss you? Like, no, the heck. So that happens, and then the new girls, they chat with the other girls in the villa, and Huda, like Amaya brings up like, yeah, Jeremiah told me that you guys are kind of close off, but like, you know, understands, okay, I understand you guys have a strong connection, I'm gonna keep my distance, right? Which is kind of weird to me, especially week 1. This is important, right? So then after that, I'm like going back and forth because I feel like that's the best way, because I feel like this situation, my mind has been focusing on one particular situation. This whole debate online has been bothering me. So then like a day or two later, this is like the second recoupling, right? So each of the guys, they get to pick which girl they want to recouple with. So the guys are going, obviously Jeremiah picks Huda. Then I think Charlie picks Hannah, right? So then it's Ace, Austin, right? This is important. I forgot to mention. Ace and Shelly has a connection, but also Austin and Shelly have a connection. So it's like a love triangle between Shelly, Ace, and Austin, right? So the order is Ace and then Austin, who gets to pick which girl they want to couple up with. Mind you, second chance to pick a new person he wants to couple up with. And he said, and some of the things that he said was like, oh, I can't wait to get to know this person more. I can't wait to cuddle with them and get to just kind of explore this.
I like to couple up with this girl because, you know, she makes me laugh. She's gorgeous. I'm really just excited to explore this connection. She's very ambitious, very outgoing, very assertive for what she wants, and that's really been big for me. I'm really excited to share a bed with this person and have conversations late night about stupid shit. So the girl I would like to couple up with is... Amaya.
Congratulations, Amaya. Go and join Ace.
After picking Amaya, now it's Austin's turn. Before I continue to discuss Austin's choice, Austin kind of had a feeling about this love triangle, like him being part of this love triangle with Shelly and Ace. And Amaya and Austin had a conversation and shared a kiss. But at the time, like, no one was like really kind of coupled up, and like was like Amaya's first date, so she didn't really know about Austin and Shelly. I'm not making up excuses, but this is important. So obviously, with Austin seeing that like Shelly has a stronger connection with Ace, I feel like in my head he was gonna pick Amaya. So after Ace picks Amaya, then it's Austin's turn to pick who he wants to couple up with. We all knew it was Shelly, but the way, like, I'm not a fan of him, but his speech was very sweet, and he ends up picking up Shelly, saying how he feel like he would see himself with this person outside of the villa, which is very cute. So then, which leaves now Sierra and Bella. So, because Nick is the last person to choose who he wants to couple up with. So, remember how I said that Nick wasn't really feeling Bella but was feeling Sierra more? So remember how the baseball challenge, Nick was telling Bella, oh, I wish I kissed you first. They were in soul ties. So they have, in the villa, they have certain places, certain rooms that have certain names. So the speakeasy, the photo booth, and soul ties, just like this like outside cute, it's very cute, the design's like an outside door, little bedroom where like couples can sit and like just discuss their feelings, and it's kind of intimate, but it's outside. So they were sitting in the soul ties area and they were just discussing about the whole challenge, and Nick was shocked and he was like, oh, I wish I kissed you first, but they ended up kissing again, like making out. 5 minutes later, Nick and Sierra are talking, and they're talking, and then Sierra's like, oh, let's go to the photo booth and take a picture. So they go to the photo booth to take a picture, and then they start making out. I'm like, bro, what the, right? This photo booth part is important. So it's Nick's turn. He's making his speech, why he wants to couple up with this reason. So me and I'm the audience watching him, like, oh, he's probably gonna pick Bella. I think they're very cute.
I would like to couple up with this girl because I feel whenever we have a conversation about our future, what her future looks like is a lot what I want my future to look like. I think that her beauty on the outside is reflective of like her beauty on the inside as well. I think that it's divine, it's radiant, and I think that a moment we shared in the photo booth was unforgettable. Oh shit.
Once he said the word photo booth, the way I rolled my eyes and fell backwards, I was like, what the? It's like he literally told us who it was before saying their name. And you could see everyone's faces, like they knew Bella was going home. Even Bella knew she was going home because she was like, I was on the photo booth. And Sierra knew it was her that she was going to stay. So obviously Nick ends up picking Sierra. And that means Bella's eliminated. And I felt bad because Bella, I feel like, she said something that was really sad. I feel like a lot of people can relate to. She was like, she's always picked last or picked second. And it's hard because she's a really sweet person. I feel like her time was short, but I feel like maybe the guy wasn't meant for her in this villa. And the way she handled it was amazing. All the girls were saying goodbye to her. Nick was saying goodbye. I wanted to say goodbye. He's like, I'm so sorry. I feel like I had no control. And Bella's like, yeah, it was literally, you had all the control. Which was kind of funny because it's like, it's true. It was literally your choice. But anyways, that happens. So then everything is smooth, right? No, this is what I've been waiting to talk about because this has been a huge debate online. And like, I've seen sides and I'm like, I'm concerned. So everything happens, and then we're going to talk about the Amaya and Ace, just like the whole relationship and that whole situation between episode 7 and 8. So after Amaya and Ace couple up, they're getting to know one another, but he's like setting boundaries. But my thing with Ace is the way the past couple days is going to show, like I will be discussing, he's disgusting. So they couple up, and remember his speech, he wants to cuddle, he wants to get to know one another, whatever. So then they're cool, and like he gives her a hug like the first time, but then Maya, I think people sometimes say names like, for example, like babe, like girl, like bro, like all the time, especially if it's part of your lingo. So the way Ace phrased this situation or this first conversation was very interesting. So they're talking, and Ace asks her, Amaya, like, oh, what do you call someone who you're in a relationship with? She was like, usually I'll have like a special name for them, sometimes babe. And he's like, yeah, about that babe thing, I'm gonna need you to stop. Mind you, she's not only calling him babe. Amaya's calling everyone babe. There's people who say babes, but they're not. Like, sometimes people may say it to specifically one person because like they're in a relationship. But there's people who just says, "Oh my god, okay, honey, okay, sweetie, okay, babe," like to everyone. So like Ace, this is not just like, she doesn't just call you that. She literally said this is part of my lingo. It's kind of hard for me because it's like altered in her head. So like it's gonna be hard for her to stop saying babe or stop calling you babe. It was funny because after the conversation, he's like, "Okay, babe." Or no, I mean, okay, Sarah. It was very funny when she did that, right? So then, then they have a conversation tonight and saying, "Oh, I think we should just be off as friends." I'm like, Maya's like, "Okay, what show is this? This is literally Love Island, not Friend Island." I'm giving you guys a shorter version because if I talk about the whole thing, this will be an hour long. So Maya's like, "This is literally like Love Island. Like, this is not Friends Island. We're here to build a bond and build a connection, right?" So then that happens. So then, after that, they go to bed and Ace gives Shelly a hug, but then doesn't really give Amaya a hug. I was like, "Okay, am I gonna get a hug?" He's like, "No, respectfully, no." And remember what I said in the speech? He said, "Can't wait to cuddle, get to know this person more," and then also hugs her like the day before. And I understand you could pick someone as a bond and then next you change your mind, but you shouldn't be disrespecting like that. It's not like Maya's not a stranger, and the way he uses the word boundaries, something that just doesn't sit with me right. I'm not saying he can't have boundaries. Everyone has the right to have a boundary. Like, it's part of like who we are and how we function in society, but the way he's communicating it to her is what's getting me uncomfortable, because she's not harassing you. She's literally trying to get to know you and trying to build a bond, because the show is called Love Island. If you're saying, "Oh, I have boundaries, I don't like physical touch," and then you hug her beforehand and then after you just switch out of nowhere, she's gonna be a bit confused. You could have been like, "Okay, I'm not really a fan of hug, but we can high five," or "I'm not really physical like touch at all, but like keep it the same for everyone." Like, maybe people are like saying, "Oh, like she knew Shelly beforehand, maybe that's why," but it's like they talked to each other once at a club. They follow each other on Instagram, right? And they're like there for like 2 days beforehand. So like obviously like they're still within the same week. It's just that Shelly and Ace got to know each other like 2 days before Amaya did, right? So that's my thing. And it's not like Amaya's like rude to him too. Like, I feel like he just wish he just communicated that better. And like, I just don't really like the way he communicated his boundaries, especially if someone's trying to get to know you and bond with you, especially since that's what you wanted. You want to explore. I'm not saying he had to touch her, but you could have found a way to at least put in the effort. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I know it's not that deep, but it's like someone could have taken your spot. Like, someone, like, you were chosen for a reason, and so you chose to be on the show to build a bond with someone. You're choosing to be comfortable and you're choosing to be messy. Here's my thing. People have been saying this online that like Ace is trying to get Shelly's attention because, like I said, he had 2 chances to pick Shelly, but he didn't. So the thing is, if you didn't choose Shelly, I guess that's your opinion, that's your thought, right? And then choosing someone else to kind of get her upset and think that she's gonna react. No, Shelly's like, "I'm here for me. If you don't pick me, I got someone else." We'll get into that in a second. So that's my thing. You're not really giving her the proper experience of Love Island. That's what's getting me upset. People are focusing more on the boundaries, but it's like, no, you're robbing the experience from her. By being rude, she's not getting the real fun experience of Love Island, right? So that's already upsetting me. And I understand, like, boundaries is, you have every right to, but it's how you communicate it. So then, after that, the next morning, the girls are getting ready. Oh, Shelly's downstairs making breakfast with Landria, and like Shelly's making breakfast for Austin. Ace wanted to do this like yoga date thing for Shelly and asked Nick for help. So then she goes to Shelly. This is where I love Shelly, but it's low-key pissing me off. He goes to Shelly. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I was like, "I'm making breakfast for Austin. Do you want some?" Girl, why are you offering him? He has this food breakfast. He doesn't deserve that. The way he's been treating you. Come on, Shelly. Soften la. Come on. Wake up. Right? So that's part 1. So he's like, "No, not yet. But go change and put on some workout outfit." She's like, "Why?" She's like, "Go change. We're going to do yoga." So she goes upstairs into the makeup room, which, by the way, I am obsessed with that makeup room. I would literally steal all the makeup on the counter if I was in the villa. So she's changing, and then Amaya's like, also getting ready. She's like, "Hey, actually, I want to talk to you. I don't mind if the other girls hear it, but here's my thought. I didn't have a connection with Ace, this and that." She's like, the thing is, the way she's going at it, right? I see people saying it's wrong, and I completely agree. and I'm not making an excuse for Amaya, and maybe because like I understand her frustration. The thing is, while her anger is it shouldn't be towards Shelly, it's misguided, right? And I agree to a point. Amaya and Chelley, they know each other before, like, and that's another thing why I don't understand why they have a lot of influencers on Love Island, right? So they know each other before like entering the villa. I'm not saying they're like best friends, but like they're like mutuals on social media, whatever, right? So that's important. Second thing is Amaya's not letting people have a time to like, or have the space to kind of speak on their on their side, which I feel like when having a conversation with someone, you should let them speak. But the thing is, she's angry and she's confused. I think people regulate their emotions differently, and that's one thing I think Amaya should work on. I'm not saying like we're all perfect, and people saying, oh, the way Amaya's doing this, Amaya's doing that, it's like, well, you're not Amaya, you know what I mean? Like, you would have done it differently because you're that individual. Like I would have reacted differently if I was in Amaya's shoe, but Amaya's who she is. But I'm not saying what she did was right, but it's just the way she is taking in all the information while she's living it, I think is different from everyone else, right? So Shelly's trying to explain her side. She keeps calling Shelly, and then Ace is downstairs waiting for her, but Shelly's taking forever. Other girls are saying, yo, like, Amaya, let Shelly talk, let her explain herself, and then this actually, Amaya's like saying, I didn't know you have a connection with Ace, like, I wish you told me, like, especially since I was like crying to you the other day talking about how I feel about Ace, and let's talk about that. In that sense, I kind of agree with Amaya, because here's why. Hear me out. Imagine I'm friends with someone before in the villa, but we're just friends, right? We're in the villa. Let's say we weren't friends. We're in the villa, and you know I'm coupled up with Ace. I'm not saying, okay, she owes her an explanation, but it's like, you see the way Ace is treating her, and it's like, you hearing it firsthand, you're seeing her cry. If I'm Shelly, I'm like, I don't like the way he's treating her. I need to take a step back, because who knows he's gonna treat me the same way. Like, for example, Alandria, we forgot that she was also interested in Ace, but she's observing everything, and like the way she's moving is very smart. She's coupled up with Taylor. She still has like, we don't know how strong the connection with her and Ace, but like she still has some type of feelings towards Ace, but she's keeping her distance because she's seeing everything that Ace is doing in like 4K. That's the way I feel like Shelly should have moved. Stop giving Ace the attention. He doesn't deserve any of that attention. You know what I mean? So that's my thing about that. So the conversation just ends, and then Alendra comes downstairs, and like she's walking, and then Ace is like, yo, Alendra, what's going on? And Alendra's like, this is not my business. I don't want to say anything, but you should communicate more, especially people who you're having interest with. And like Ace already knew what it was about. So the next thing you know, the next scene is Ace and Amaya have a conversation and by the dock, and once again Amaya, which I think is something she needs to work on, but I understand her frustration. She needs to let people talk. But the way this conversation started was very uncomfortable to me, because the first thing Ace says, oh, this is how this conversation is gonna go. You're gonna go, I'm gonna, like, that's not how you kind of start a conversation. Like, you're kind of taking control of the conversation, even though Maya kept interrupting you towards the, like, during the conversation. But I feel like saying this is how this is gonna go, this conversation is gonna go, I feel like that's very, like, I don't like the way that sounded, right? So then he's like, oh, I expressed to you how I just want to be friends, this, that, and the third. I understand you're trying to communicate, okay, you want to be friends, but the fact that you did the 180 out of nowhere to me is very uncomfortable, and I think it triggered a lot of people online and like viewers, because I feel like they can relate in Amaya's shoes. And I've noticed this whole debate, like watching this online, I've seen one side, it's like, oh yeah, I agree with Ace. Some sides like, I don't like Ace, but I agree with him. And the other side's like, I agree with Maya's crash out.
The argument was very stupid, and I'd like to say, like, unpopular opinion, it was stupid on both parts. It wasn't stupid actually for Maya. I wouldn't use that word for her. I would say that she just got very hot way too quickly, and, you know, just became very like, and I was just like, okay, like, you need to like bring it down, because it's not even been a full 24 hours and you just met him, and like it's too much going on. But with Ace, he's really giving Master Manipulator 101, because him staying very mellow and talking very lowly and like low-key doing little like sly like things with his face and being like, oh, like, I feel like you're being passive aggressive right now, like, you know, that's just not like talking like that. Like, it's aggravating, because it's like, it's giving like he has a flippant energy about him and he's not really into the conversation, he's not really caring. And it's like,
let me just add these few little tidbits to the discourse, because I feel like y'all are painfully forgetting key importance to a lot of people's dynamic. One, y'all keep mentioning how Ace is saying that he's not a slow burner, he's not affectionate. Well, that's what he said, right? He said that to Amaya. What y'all are saying, well, he kissed Shelly on the forehead. They have history. They texted before. They met before. They know each other. They're familiar with each other outside of the villa. Okay? I don't know why we're forgetting that. So, hence, why he felt more comfortable and feels a little bit more developed in his relationship, or progression towards relationship with Shelly. Amaya is 2 days in.
Okay, don't fight me for this, but I feel like two things can be true at once with this Ace and Amaya situation. And I'm going to start with a controversial take. I really do feel like, especially in our generation, I feel like people aren't used to those who clearly, directly, and without provocation communicate their boundaries. I think that the majority of folks will wait for the offense to happen and then communicate their boundaries on the back end. And because so many people have issues with communication, sometimes they wait for the offense to happen and then they still don't communicate their boundaries. They just go and they talk about it to somebody else and slowly start building resentment.
Yes, let's dive into Ace and his boundaries. Now, it's very valid to have boundaries. It's very valid to communicate when something is uncomfortable to you. But when Ace was communicating that, what I felt was this was someone who learned the term boundary and is misusing it in some capacity, or they went to therapy, they learned boundaries, and now this is how they're kind of navigating the world. I think further evidence to support that is maybe from last night's episode where Amaya and Ace were talking on the dock, where they basically end things. I felt like Ace was coming in very cold. Now, there's a difference between setting the stage of a conversation, right? Saying, listen, I don't want to talk over each other. I want us both to feel heard. That's setting the stage.
Ace is literally manipulating Amaya and no one is really talking about it. Like, everyone is talking about how irritating he's being and how he's making them mad, but no one's actually coming out to say that he's literally manipulating her. How do you go from picking a girl to, I have a bunch of boundaries. I don't even want you to call me babe, even if you call everyone that. It's just, no, you're being too fast. It's giving red flag. It's giving this. It's giving that.
Literally, I don't care what anybody says. I am writing hard for Amaya. Like, every single one of her crash outs were valid to me. How are you gonna try to manipulate and gaslight me into thinking I'm doing something wrong on Love Island? Like, there's a difference between setting boundaries and then just being a dick about it. You can't say you don't like being touched or you don't like to be all touchy-feely, but then go and show it to Shelly in front of the girl that you're currently coupled up with. He keeps mentioning, I could have chose anybody. I could have chose anybody out of the girl. Then choose the girl that you're actually going after. Like, I don't understand. Like, he's playing this game that literally nobody else wants to play. I don't understand Ace's mindset and it's pissing me off so bad. Hot take.
Like, while I'm not saying like the way she's behaving is the correct way, but like I said, like each individual is different. I feel that's something that she needs to work on. Another reason why Ace is not the good person for her, because I feel like if she's looking for someone in Love Island, I feel like she needs to find someone who can like kind of support her and like finding a way to communicate her feelings and frustration. And Ace is not a good partner for that. If anything, he's causing more problems and triggering her frustration, right? So Maya's upset because like Ace didn't really tell her who exactly. He just made the whole exploring other people very broad. But Ace knew exactly who he meant, and I would agree. I'm like, so you had someone in mind. You're telling me one thing, but it's another thing. Yeah. So I saw this online as was saying something like she's trying to process everything but while speaking. You know what I mean? She didn't have time to like actually reflect on it. Like everything she's seen the past day, she's trying to process it, but also speak her mind. And one thing that I also noticed is like, I'm happy she said what she said. I just don't like the way she did it. But I'm still Team Amaya. Amaya stand behind me. I'm still gonna defend her because if she didn't speak her mind, y'all be like, oh my god, Amaya, why didn't you say anything? You know what I mean? So it's very like wishy-washy. You can do one thing, like whatever. I feel like whatever she would have done, she would have been viewed as the villain in one way or another. That's my theory on about that. But yeah, I just don't like Ace after that. And the sad thing is, like, I was a huge fan of him and his TikTok and like what he did, but the way he handled this was not great. And like I don't want to be, I hate hearing the excuse, oh, he expresses boundaries. You can express your boundaries, but the overall reason why she's crashing out, she's 100% has the right to be upset. It's the way she handled it. One thing I'm not gonna do is tell someone how to feel. Because I hate telling people how to feel, but it's the way she handled it. Like, her crash out is 100% valid. Imagine if a guy picks me, he's interested to explore and touch and this and that, and then completely switch because someone else didn't give him attention. Wasting my time and my experience. Hopefully, I don't know if this will ever happen. If she is able to stay on the island, I hope the show can kind of help her. I doubt it because it's Love Island. It's obviously going to be drama. But I hope the show can kind of supporting her in how to express her emotions, because it's people are able to express how they feel differently, and that's one thing she wants to continue or needs support in. So yeah, I understand crash out, so that's why I'm like team more Amaya. So new bombshell. There's always a bombshell every other day. There's I'm like kind of like because I've been doing kind of debates or discussions about it on my Instagram, and I didn't know how to do this like platform of how to express or talk about week 1 or week 2, because there's been a lot of episodes coming out. But I'm debating if I should just do a TikTok, Instagram, or do like a every week YouTube video, because I feel like doing a YouTube video almost every day is a lot. But that's then we go to the new challenge.
What do you think would be the most crazy in the bedroom? Shelly. Get there, get there, get there.
Which Islander do you think is here for clout over love?
Damn.
Oh, I'm gonna say Ace.
Damn.
Bye, bye, bye. Ace, slow it down. You better watch out.
There was no way I was watching. What you don't see can't hurt you. And
Which Islander do you think is the most high maintenance?
God.
Because she takes forever to get ready, and you can bring her 2 plates of food, and she'll still find something to say about it.
Shut up. Which Islander do you think is the most boring? I have to say Nick.
kind of enjoyed it a little more than I thought I would.
Questions where it was funny, but also a lot of people got upset. So for example, Ace got upset because Huda answered a question about I forgot what it was.
Okay. Which Islander do you think is secretly waiting for someone better to walk in? Damn, I really don't fucking know. Aw, man, I do know. Ace.
The situation between Ace and I was just the major topic. A lot of people were calling his name out and calling my name out.
I feel like she had a secret vendetta. You know, she made little slick comments last night before we went to bed, and then now she's choosing me. I feel like it's a little bit personal, not understanding why, so I'm confused where this tension is coming from.
That was crazy. That was crazy, bro.
Ace got triggered by that, but you're showing it literally every day. Like, you did that with Amaya, did that, you're doing it now with Iris, the latest bombshell. So you're proving your point, and he got so upset, and this on the third, and I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. So then there was another point where, once again, me defending Amaya, because I feel like because of Ace's freaking action, and also part of hers, but mostly Ace, where they're asking like which person is like trying too hard, and Taylor picked Amaya. I'm like, trying too hard how? Like, if anything, she hasn't been able to get a connection to even try. So then after that, we'll talk about like what the conversation that Taylor and Amaya had. So they do other challenges. There was a scene where also with Sierra and Shelly, that was iconic, where like Sierra's funny. They're asking a question, and like Sierra just picked Shelly just to kiss her, which was so funny. And then after that, like the point I'm laughing is the way she flipped let me show you. This is like the corner, like the chart, right? she literally just threw it like this. Like, she didn't even flip it. She threw it so it could land on Kiss. I was like, do you, boo? That was so funny. I was dying. She didn't even try. And she was like, I've been waiting to kiss Shelly. So, that's so funny. I love it. I love them. But then after that, then other people do it. And then the challenge is over. And then another part that got me annoyed was where it's the start of the next episode where Shelly's all covered in, like, you know, like whipped cream and pie. And then she's telling, like, Taylor, like, look what you did to me, like, joking, like, oh my god, this is your fault. And Taylor's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, but, like, Ace should lick it off. What happened to no physical touch? That's the thing that's gonna be upset. It's like, okay, you have some physical. I feel like my thing is, like, you can have certain boundaries for certain people. The fact that you're licking someone's whipped cream off their tits, off their boobies, off their titties, like, already, and it's not even a week 1 yet. And what happened to boundaries? You just have boundaries with Amaya only, the person you picked, right? So I'm like, oh, okay. What happened to, oh my god, I don't like touch, I don't like this, and then you're licking someone already, right? So then Amaya wants to talk to Taylor about the whole situation, like, why did you pick me? And he's like, you know, I've just been seeing with everything with Ace. Of course, one thing about Taylor that pissing me off, him and Nick are Ace's, I don't want to say the word, but, like, they're like Ace's little minion. Like, why are you letting a 22-year-old man control your thoughts on someone? Like, like, Ace really has your, like, control over your mind. The heck? So that's what I'm saying. He's a menace. Like, he has to go. So that's my thing. So then that happens, and then I forgot to mention also, like, the Huda and Jeremiah goes on a date. I don't really want to talk about them because every time I talk about Huda and Huda and Jeremiah, it gives me a headache, and, like, I think it's stressing everyone out. So then we're moving on to the next challenge. This is, like, the latest episode before. Yeah, this is the latest episode I've seen, and there's a new challenge, and Ariana comes out and wearing latex and, like, you know, is having, like, this challenge is very crazy. So basically,
go get him.
It's time to play.
Oh, shit.
Shelly, you better watch that shit.
Uh-oh. Yeah, Chelley!
Shut the hell up.
me, I'm a gift giver. I love giving gifts. And brings in 3 new bombshells. 2 guys, 1 girl, right? So then she has the guys go first and literally make out with all of the girls. So the guys can't see what's going on, but they can hear. It's crazy. Love Island is so messy. Like, you can hear the making out and the moaning. Like, you can't see anything. That's so messy, right? So then Arnold's like, okay, boys, good job, but, you know, I can't forget about the boys too. So she brings in the new bombshell for the a girl named Iris, who's getting all the guys' attention, and she mixed up with all of them, right? This part proves my point why Huda should. Oh.
Oh shit. Bitch, if you don't fucking quit it right now, thank you.
Huda's working on her back bends.
I just had to hear her going crazy twice. The double standard of the woman was crazy.
But the thing is, Jeremiah didn't say, even though I don't like him as well, he didn't say anything while you're kissing 2 guys. He didn't open his mouth. He was just accepting the fate. But when he's kissing someone else, mind you, they're doing their job, you get upset. Y'all are not boyfriend and girlfriend, right? Once again, it's a challenge. That's getting me so upset. And Jeremiah got pissed off about that. He's like, I don't understand, like, the double standard. I agree with him in that part. It's like, I didn't say anything while you were kissing 2 guys. Let me have my moment. You know what I mean? Like, let him actually explore. So that happens. And then, once again, Huda gets upset. And then you see, like, the Huda's and Jeremiah's relationship being very rocky. Once again, nothing new. The whole, like, breakfast thing of her not trying or putting in effort, but he's been making her breakfast every single day since they're in the island. Like, both of them are not great for each other. So then Iris is talking to all the guys, and then, like, out of nowhere, she has a pretty good connection with Ace, which I was not expecting, but it's also Ace too, because, like, once again, it's a new girl, so he probably is gonna have the connection with her and then move on, right? So that, and then also she has a connection with Ace and Jeremiah, but a stronger connection with Ace. And then after that, during the show, they asked fans to vote, and this was, like, one of our first vote, and the voting was, who do you want the bombshell to be paired up with? And here's my result. I voted for Iris to be paired up with Jeremiah, only because I was thinking about Ace, but seeing the connection he had with Iris, but also I don't know if he doesn't like Jeremiah or like there's something going on. I wanted to see how he would react seeing Jeremiah with Iris, right? I pick Alandria and Jalen because Jalen, like, he's a southern boy. He's very sweet and like shows so much interest in Alandria compared to like Taylor, where like they're talking, but he mentioned a part where he wasn't physically attracted to her. I'm like, yeah, you don't like her, it's okay, just leave. So Jalen's like, I like you. He's very upfront and like very respectful. He's like, can I kiss you on the cheek? He's like, I wanted to get to know you more, which I love, and Alandria needs and deserves that. And then I picked Pepe with Amaya because I just feel like Amaya just needs to stay a bit furthermore. I think just like her crash out and like the whole fight, fans are like, oh, she needs to go, but I feel like she deserves to stay a bit more just to explore other guys. And like she kind of has a crush on Pepe too, because she was like, I have a crush, and like I feel like that because I feel like Pepe doesn't like her, but I feel like she should give him more like a chance to properly experience being coupled up with someone and like getting to actually explore a connection and not be manipulated by Ace or someone else, right? So those are who I voted for. I don't know who you guys voted for down below. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are overall in my video. I know it's a little bit messy, but I just wanted to just spit it out and like say what I gotta say, because I feel like tonight a lot's gonna happen, and I think we're almost halfway through to get to Casa Amor. I think we have like 8 or 9 episodes from what I saw online, which I'm really excited. Not confirmed, but let me know what you guys think. Who's your favorite couple? Who's your least favorite couple? What do you think about the whole Huda and Jeremiah thing? What do you guys think about the whole Ace, Austin, Shelly? What do you guys think also about the whole Ace, Amaya and Chelley? What do you think about the whole Hannah and Pepe? Because I forgot to mention the part where literally at the last minute they were like literally making out. Another thing that kind of made me side-eyeing Pepe was because Pepe kind of was attracted to Sierra and Hannah, and they were in the kitchen. Charlie was in the kitchen making his dinner, and Pepe was like, oh yeah, you gotta go because I gotta talk to your girl in this kitchen. And Charlie was like, bro, I'm cooking dinner. No, I'm cooking my guac. So then they have to go to the speakeasy, and that's where they're like literally full on making out. So do you see a thing between Hannah and Pepe? How do you like, what would you like, how do you think Hannah and Charlie, like their relationship, how that'll be? Let me know what you guys think below. I just want to make this very quick. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see ya. Bye.